Now, for the past couple of days, news has been floating around across all media that our favorite not Sorcerer Supreme, because God forbid there be a straight white male Sorcerer Supreme in a Disney Marvel show, he just ain't diverse enough. I'm talking about Benedict Cumberbatch, could be facing legal action over families linked to slave trade. Now, that was the story that has been floating around, and it has caused a lot of ruckus on Twitter, to which a lot of people have been making posts like this: they need to pay for what they have done. A lot of people have been coming after Benedict Cumberbatch because of his family lineage. A lot of people have been saying pay the money and whatnot, and this is the trend that we've been seeing all across Twitter. However, what has sparked this whole reaction from a lot of people against the Cumberbatches is this story that came out of Telegraph, stating that the government in Barbados, or there's a commission in Barbados, a task force that is going after reparations, have actually called out specifically Dominic Cumberbatch's family to pay reparations because his great-great-great-great-great-great-grandfather owned slaves, about 250 of them, and also owned a slave sugarcane plantation in Barbados and benefited off of them. Now, in 1834, 100 years or 105 years after his seventh grandfather, Abraham Cumberbatch, bought that land, slavery was abolished and they were paid a compensation of about $11,000. Now, this commission is asking for that $11,000 to be paid back in reparations. And you might say, well, it's only $11,000. There's nothing much to it. However, if you account for inflation from 1834 to today, that $11,000 would be worth $6.4 million. And that is what they are asking for, or seemingly that is what was said that they were asking for. Now, in a quote, one of the commission members, David Denny, General Secretary of the Caribbean Movement for Peace and Integration, directly called out Cumberbatch family in the media, and he said, quote, "Any descendants of white plantation owners who have benefited from this slave trade should be asked to pay reparations, including the Cumberbatch's family." Now, he didn't specifically say that they should pay the $6.4 million. However, many media outlets ran with this and started telling the whole world that Benedict Cumberbatch could be facing some legal actions. Why? Because it kind of like makes good story. Now, a lot of people have been attacking Benedict Cumberbatch for various reasons. And one key reason is because Benedict Cumberbatch is woke. So the woke people are saying, hey, dude, don't be a hypocrite. Live by your words, because Benedict Cumberbatch is woke himself. In 2015, if you guys remember, he was advocating for England to allow more black actors in Hollywood and whatnot, that it is different in America. And, you know, after advocating for more black actors in England, you would think that the woke revolutionaries will back him up. However, the woke revolutionaries were angry with him because of the way he referred to these said black actors. He called them colored actors. Now, in the context of wokeness or political correctness, he is using what they call an outdated phrase, and the phrase that should be used is actors of color. Tell me what's the difference, people. Colored actor, actors of color. Make that make sense. I don't understand. But anyways, you guys, a lot of people have been going after him and saying, hey, dude, you're an elite. You've been talking about all this virtual whatever, how virtuous you are. You want more black actors. And you've been talking about why you acted in a slave movie because you want to show that you are sorry for what your ancestors have done. Look, now they're asking for money, right? Walk the walk. And this dude is what, $40 million. Hence why I believe a lot of people are jumping on this. It's resonating with a lot of people who are Barbadians who feel that he does owe them something. Now, when it comes to my own opinion regarding this particular thing, I don't think he owes them anything, because it is not his fault that he was born into the Cumberbatch family. But they don't see it that way, because that's what wokeness does to you. Anyways, you guys, I think that he can breathe a sigh of relief, because the whole story that the government or the task force is actually going after Cumberbatch is false. Well, at least according to the leader of the task force group, or the deputy chairman of the task force group, in the name of David Commission. So the person I quoted before was David Denny. This is David Commission, and he is reporting that everything he said was misquoted by the Daily Telegraph in the UK. Now, he said that it was a clear example of how the Daily Telegraph is misleading persons, and subsequently many media have followed up with similar or related articles targeting Cumberbatch, best known for his role as Doctor Strange on the big screen. Commission clarified in a press statement this week. Daily Telegraph journalist asked me if Barbados intends to pursue a reparation claims against the family of someone named Benedict Cumberbatch, which means he didn't even know who this guy was up until he was asked. And when one answers that one does not know who Benedict Cumberbatch is, or nor anything about his family's supposed involvement in slavery in Barbados, that answer is reported as my having asserted that Barbados has not ruled out pursuing a reparations claim against Cumberbatch and his family. Quote, and then suddenly there is a big international news story about Barbados pursuing a reparation claim against the said Benedict Cumberbatch. So the entire story was kind of fake news, but it didn't stop Yahoo News or any other access media or any other person gunning after Cumberbatch with this story, regardless of the fact that this brother is woke. This brother last year said that men need to step aside for women to take the wheel. He agreed to removing his role in one division because they just could not have the patriarchy train a matriarchy, more or less, because they couldn't have him train Wanda on her show to harness her own power. They removed that entire scene where he was teaching her how to harness her power because he's a straight white male. So this guy's pretty woke. He actually agreed to all of that. He was almost a passenger. He was the weaker person in his own movie, whilst the women were actually stronger. America Chavez was stronger, and so on and so forth. So he's not only woke in terms of blackity black woke, he's also woke in terms of feminism woke. Hence why a lot of people who are, pretty much anti-woke are saying, well, walk the walk. You talk the talk, walk the walk. So it would have been interesting to see if this story wasn't discredited by the Commission, if he would actually live up to all of this hype, all of this virtuous talk that many of these elites do, and actually pay that $6.4 million. Regardless of the fact that he is worth $40 million, $6.4 million of his hard-earned cash is a lot to pay. Now, do I agree that he should pay that? No, I don't think so. But will be interesting to see, like I said before, if Benedict Cumberbatch is going to walk the walk and support the people of Barbados and pay that reparation.